We met yesterday, too, when we were out at the airport doing probably some Nixie bits. We met a pilot who's Southwest airline guy, listens to the Leo and Danny show.
Shout out, buddy. What was his name?
I just followed him on Instagram. I forget his name. Was it Kevin? I forget his name.
Sounds about right.
Yeah, you know who you are, Kevin. I just followed you back on Instagram. I'm going to learn your name, buddy. I'm sorry. He's a fan of the channel, presumably listens to our podcast at 30,000 feet while he has lives in his hands.
That's wild, huh?
But he was telling us something pretty scary. So I guess they're horribly short of pilots at all the major airlines, and it's starting to turn into basically the same thing as getting a trucking license. The stringent amount of hours you needed in the air, the really hardcore training. It used to be, and I said this to Kevin, to be a Southwest pilot, you used to have flown a couple tours of duties in Korea and to have had shot down at least 3 enemy MiGs.
Jesus.
Nowadays, it sounds like there's a 2-year course to get a certificate, and then they're like, yeah, fuck it, dude, grab the joysticks.
Well, yeah,
you got all these people's hands.
I think they got to get. I hope that there's a lot of like where they fly next to a veteran, right? I hope that that's it, and the veteran can take over if this fucking Weasley kid loses his mind. I wouldn't trust Kevin. I'm sorry.
You're gonna be.
I know he's one of our fans, but I'm not flying if that motherfucker's flying. Not yet, at least.
Here's what's going on. I'm a guy named Ron.
Oh God.
I'm 68, about to retire, and I'm a chain smoker. And you're a kid from
wide-eyed kid.
You're a kid from Berkeley, California.
Leo and Danny show fan?
No, I'm thinking more of you were either going to do this or work as a moderator at Twitter.
Okay.
And that was going to be your 2 jobs, but you decided to get into flying planes.
It's my first day on the job.
It's your first day on the job. You're shadowing me.
All right.
Here, let's start it out. 3, 2.
Oh boy, Ron, I've heard so much about you, man. I'm so excited to be alongside you here, man. Just flying this plane. Oh man, I've dreamed about this moment for so long. You have no idea how excited I am, Ron.
You know what I dream about?
What?
The devilish face of a Korean flying a Russian aircraft on my 6 at 38 knots.
Whoa, I understand that you served in the military and stuff, but I think all that nowadays, it's in the past, and it's more important to...
we don't use knots anymore? What are we on to? Kilometers per hour? What are you saying?
I think that you need to be... I think let's think about our customers here, right? And we might have Koreans, but also we might
There's
have...
a Korean on my airship right now?
Yeah, stop it.
Get him off the plane!
Stop it. Ron, please, stop. I don't want to fly this plane with you if you're a racist.
This is my that? This is my service revolver.
No, give me that.
You see all the X's? You see all the X's on the handle?
Oh my God! What are the X's stand for?
That symbolizes sometimes in a dogfight, both people got to eject. That's the amount of Koreans I killed on the ground in hand-to-hand combat with that revolver.
Ron, this is not okay. What about our trans community? What about our trans commuters? We have a couple people that are transsexual.
You see the firing pin in that thing?
Yeah.
I made it out of a Korean guy's toe bone.
Stop! This is not okay. I just want to fly this plane and get my salary and go home to my wife and eat my steak dinner. All right, I don't want to hear this racist garbage, Ron.
Surprised you didn't say I'm married to a husband.
Oh, stop! I am not homosexual, if that's what you mean. But I'm okay with them. They can. I have no problem with them. Do you have a problem with homosexuals, Ron? Because you have a problem with Koreans now, don't you?
In Korea, when we found out there was a homosexual in our aviation unit, we'd lay him out on the deck of an aircraft, and then we'd have 2 F-14 Tomcats take off opposite ends of the ship with the homosexual tied up in the middle.
What? Ron, this is incredible. You know what? I've heard a lot of rumblings about how no one likes to fly next to you. I'm going to tell you why. It's obvious why.
You ever drawn and quartered a homosexual?
No, I've never done that.
Going 800 miles per hour off the bow of one of our Navy's most proud aircraft carriers?
No, Ron, I've never done that. And I don't think it's not very nice that you did that. Did the man die?
He was killed instantly. It doesn't communicate how quickly this man died. He was probably dead from the shock, just as our twin turbo dual. I can't even make up. I'm out of things I can make up. I got nothing.
You know what, dude? I hope that Ron. I would trust Ron. in that scenario. To be
You
honest,
know
to fly me.
they're letting women pilot. Like there's women pilots now. Have you ever like you know how the captain?
Yeah.
You get onto a plane, the captain's standing there, like to greet all the people as they come in, and then like. Have you ever just gotten in and it's just like a woman captain?
We've had that
It happened to us in
experience,
Kansas.
and I'm going to be honest. It was the worst landing we've ever experienced. I'm not trying to be sexist. This is a fact, right? Wasn't it the worst landing?
I don't remember.
Shut up. We all discussed it.
So I dislike the diversity policies as much as anybody. When they're just like, oh, we need more of X flying planes. But I think we've had a lot of very good and very bad landings. I think you might be plucking a random bad landing out of your memory and just pushing it into the female flight story to make it juicier.
I remember being a little bit extra kind of. I was focused on that landing. Maybe I might have imagined it being worse than it was.
I think I imagined it being fine. Here's the truth, and this was confirmed by Kevin. This is probably not even his name, but that most of the flight details are just autopilot these days. I mean, you're pretty much. It's like when your Tesla drives you home drunk from the local dive bar. It's done it a million times because you're probably an alcoholic who works at Morgan Stanley and you hate your life. It's gonna get you there safely.
Yeah, and I guess you could land with one engine, and there's 4 engines, so yeah, there's a lot to feel okay about when you're flying.
You should do a bit where you book a plane ticket, and the next time it's a female pilot, you go up to the front counter and you tell them that you want to change your ticket because it's a female pilot.
But when you get on the plane, it's already kind of too late. It's like
yeah.
when you go into surgery and you see the same thing. It's like you're about to go into the knife. It's too late. But I do agree that I feel like it's good to have diversity, gender within different roles that you wouldn't normally. But it's a little bit off-putting, like that.
Why though?
Because it's exciting. It keeps us on our toes.
Maybe keeps us afraid for our lives.
Well, yes. If you're not afraid for your life every once and again, are you really living?
I was thinking about this today. It's so weird that we pick and choose the areas of life where we need diversity.
Yeah.
Like in the NFL, it's the most cutthroat business. Perform or get the fuck out style bottom line shit, and that's totally okay, and nobody is even thinking about, well, actually, unfortunately, peripherally, they're trying to bring diversity in. Like, they're trying to make coaches chicks, which makes absolutely no sense to me, because the chances of a woman having ever played a meaningful football are non-existent. Then again, we did go to a tackle football game. Why, though, in the NFL, we care about how good people are, and we're going to pay the best people, but how come if you run a big tech company, you have a bunch of people putting pressure on you to not hire the best people? It seems weird that we pick and choose. Like that football, meritocracy, baby. Best man gets the job. But everywhere else, it's like, nope, this has got to change. We got to keep a couple more of these people, a few more non-binaries. Oh, no indigenous. We got to fill out the indigenous population. Like, why is it a liberal science experiment if you're just trying to run a business?
It's only the jobs that people want. Like, they're not advocating for females to be equally representative as like
Actually, I have something
like manual labor, hard jobs that suck. No one's out there saying we need equal amount of girls doing.
Well, Austin,
bricklaying.
there was a this is one of the strangest things actually that's ever happened, and I think it was just I don't really know how to explain it why I felt this way, but I was coming back from Slab City, so basically right by the Mexican border. And so we're driving, a lot of times they have stops, like people, scary men that come in. Like,
I know the one you're
officers.
speaking about. Yeah, I know the one you're talking about.
And then there's the person comes out, and it's this trans woman, and they come out to the car, and it was a shock. It was a shock to me because you hardly see just like women as it is doing that job, and then you expect to see like a big strong dude come out like ready to check the trunk to make sure there's no one hitchhiking a little ride. And it's this trans woman comes out, makeup and everything, and not like a might be a girl, but like clearly just transitioned, like comes out.
So it was it was an unattractive trans.
Well, I'm not saying. Well,
and Brooks, I want to point out that Brooks has had sex with many transgendered individuals.
Right,
so whatever
say
it says
whatever he
here
wants.
is not prejudiced.
Yeah. So
allegedly.
No. I'm not trying.
Allegedly.
I'm not trying to be like offensive, and I'm just saying I was surprised. It's interesting to see people in a career choice which you would not expect to see them in, because it's not really like border patrol. You don't necessarily think that it would be someone trans, and then they can come up to the car, open the window, look inside, and be like, I'm gonna need to see you open that trunk. Like,
Yeah, because
luckily,
you expect trans people to work at either a Hot Topic or McDonald's at like 4 o'clock in the morning. That's the only place you see.
No, that.
A Hot Topic makes sense. I get Hot Topic.
Where have I
Dude,
seen
no,
actual?
McDonald's next to my house, it's like half trans people past midnight.
I see.
Houston,
like
we saw
4 of
2
them
trans
that work
people
there.
in Houston.
Two trans. Yeah, we did.
Yeah, which is-
I see a lot of just like any beauty stores, maybe a lot of just retail in the mall. I see transgender people.
yeah, and like once again, I'm not nothing wrong with that. Obviously, you know, my roommate's transgender. I have a lot of friends that are transgender, and I've had experience with transgender people, and I
Sexual
think that
experience.
they're
Sexual
definitely
What if,
like,
what if all transgender people? Sorry, Brooks, I'm coming right back to you. What if all trans people wanted to work at transmission shops?
That'd be great.
And then like their slogan was "Have a tranny working on your tranny."
Yeah, that'd be good.
Was that too much, Brooks? I'm sorry.
No,
You reckon
it's
that
true.
hit
I
him
mean,
like-
it's fine.
Look, put the word out, folks.
Yeah.
Fans are good at finding like beautiful things like this. But if you know a tranny that works on transmissions, why don't you let us know? Because we'd love to talk to him in the comments.